All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Hakodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Joachim out there who pushing his word with our truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And there's a couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp or the Houston Church. I'm the brother Korah Abad. And as always, we got the beloved Elder Tazapah and the Wadi Yahweh Bashim Awashai for blessing us with another opportunity to come and do this work, to come and push out this news, man. In which it feel like we, you know, they say a broken record because we say the same things, and there's a lot going on. Well, because it is, there's a lot going on. There's a lot happening on
Oh,
Earth, especially in
yep.
America, and it ain't gonna let up. And that's something I was kind of like laughing about to myself today, is because just looking through comments on Instagram, Instagram, social media, looking through comments, people see these things happening. Now they panicking. Oh, now it's the end of the world. Now Jesus coming back soon, huh? As they will call him, you know. And they're praying
God.
for better times, And look, I try not to comment to these people, but one girl's like, in Jesus' name, Lord, please stop, please make it rain and stop these fires. And I just had to say, who you think allowing this to happen? And I just let it be at that, right? But who you think allowing this to happen? But the point I was laughing about earlier is that that's gonna blow these people mind because we know a woman in travail. The closer she get to getting that child delivered out of her, the more those contractions get back to back and the worse they be. We understand that as the day goes on, the Lord ain't gonna let up. It's gonna get worse. The next thing is gonna be worse than this fire. The next thing will be worse than what just happened. And the people don't know that. They're gonna be surprised. But Salaki the Taza Power, the floor is yours. If you had anything.
No, you good, brother. You finish your thought.
Nah, that was it. We can hop into it if you don't, if you don't have nothing.
Yes. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 10. The city of confusion. All right. And when you talk about America, America is spiritually, prophetically, biblically, the virgin daughter of Babylon. When you go into the word Babylon, it goes back to the Hebrew word Babal. All right. Babal means dust or confusion. So when we read here, Isaiah 24, verse 10, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. We're talking about America. And we see in real time that Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, is systematically breaking this city of confusion down. Why is it a city of confusion? You may ask. You got LGBTQ and all the other letters of the alphabet. You got no fault divorce. Uh, you got so much crazy shit. Strong and independent women. How is that for an oxymoron? A strong and independent woman. The woman was created to be dependent. You see what I'm saying? But this is the city of confusion. You can get as a child who doesn't know anything about life. You can get a sex change. You can do these things in Babylon. You see? But the Most High is breaking this shit down systematically. All right. And everybody that well outside of the church, the elect, the uh the servants of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, everybody else is gonna get swept up in this breaking down.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You look at California. This ain't this has been going on, bro. I mean, I'm like, how much California do they have left to burn? It's like year after year, you hear these fires out of control, wildfires and all this shit. So you got, I mean, you spoke on it before we started the stream. If you want to just kind of go in on it, I know, I might be jumping the gun a little bit, but I mean, flow in the spirit.
Nah, that's on point. Because before we even get into the information, again, what's one thing that the Lord have us kind of say often on the Thursday lives? It ain't about when a big event happens. It's the follow up, following the process. The stages leading up to it, right? And what have happened in weeks leading up to the fires? What we seeing now? Think about it. Think about how many people struggling. Although we may not be affected, our neighborhood where we at, we still good. Think about how many Americans are actually affected, and as we know, things gonna get worse, and different so-called weather patterns gonna hit, or different type of destructions the Lord gonna have in other cities. So it's gonna add on. But think about what's all happened before we got here. What just happened over there in Florida with Tampa? You had Tampa, but mainly in North Carolina. Those people got flooded out, lost their homes, became homeless, their livelihood. Ain't no telling what's happening with them right now. The government ain't help. In the same week they ain't help, the government sent some billions to Ukraine. But they gave the American people $750 and said, hey, get it how you live.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
You want to say something?
Yeah, I was just agreeing. Go ahead.
Con. But even going back to that, think about how many people are displaced right now. Had to move probably to Florida, start all the way over. Everything was gone, their whole livelihood. They still dealing with that in North Carolina. I'm sure it ain't probably everybody, right? But you have a lot of people, I'm sure hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people whose lives changed overnight. Now, at the same time, you also had or have going on right now is these fires. A lot of people are losing their livelihood. And you know what's even cold? It's getting to the point to where the Lord ain't just touching the everyday common person, the working person. He beginning to touch. And that's one thing we all also talk about on the live, but not just us, but everybody go get touched. The CEOs, the higher ups, everybody go eventually get touched. We're in a time, matter of fact, in the neighborhood Palisade, where the fire started, I believe, Palisade, the average house in the neighborhood, which California housing costs high anyway, but it's 3.5 million. So that's people who living comfortably. In Egypt,
and guess what, brother? Just real quick, that's putting that vibration out there, brother. That MOTB vibration, because we've been bringing that out. Paragma go back to Palisade. So this is putting that vibration, people you speaking that word Palisade. And this may be a ritual. Who knows? But we gonna see that mark real soon. But you got it.
Now that's it. So think now. Look, all these people they don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Today, their lives being changed. You got people who act now just become homeless, probably walking down the LA street yesterday, looking at homeless people, talking about, "Ew, get away from me." Just like this white woman, I assume she a white woman. "Ew, get away from me," but now she homeless. Now you homeless. See, people. And as we'll get into it, but they ain't got no insurance on that house no more. So now they on their own. The insurance company took their hand back before it happened. Not on duty. But you got these people. Now you got the snow that's about to hit in certain parts like Atlanta. Who knows what's gonna happen with that? The point is the Lord is beginning to turn it up in the latter days, man. We're living in an exciting time, and a lot is going on. But did you have something else, Elder Tazapar?
Go ahead, man. We'll get into the prophecies with your stories.
Con.
Or we can go ahead and get into the news.
So we'll go ahead and hop into it. And Shalom to all the Akim Akwath who may be tuning in. Yahweh Bashim Al Shabrak Thumb.
Shalom.
But starting out with the first portion, it says fire and snow. Now, even considering what's going on, I thought that was spiritual, because what's one of the plagues that happened in Egypt? The Lord had happened at the same time. You had that hell and fire falling at the same time. Now, again, this ain't like literally like that, but can I get a quick precept? This 2nd Ezra 15. Now, this ain't literal hell and fire as it was, but spiritually looking at it is the same elements hitting at the same time. On one side of America, the Lord got it about to freeze, and on the other side of America, he got it on fire. Real quick, this 2nd Ezra 15. You about to say something?
No, go ahead.
Kind of 2nd Ezra 15 and verse I'm gonna start at verse 10. It says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt." And it's not talking about the ancient Egypt with Moses and Aaron. It's the new Egypt, Revelation 11 and 8 Egypt, the spiritual Egypt, which is America. And it's going to explain in the next chapter. It says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, Yahushua, and smite Egypt with plagues as before." Key words, as before. This is a new Egypt, a different one. But he's going to judge it in kind of the same manner as he did the other one. Send down plagues. And remember, one of the plagues was fire and hell. Those two elements, and we seeing that happen now. Again, America on fire and it's freezing. And it's freezing. It says, "I will smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof," which shows that's not the ancient Egypt. It's America. It's going to be destroyed. But we're in the beginning stages of America final judgment. And this kind of looked like the lake of fire. This what John seen, if anything.
Yeah, it do look like a lake of fire.
So we in like the prelims of the greatest judgment known to man. We went like the beginning. And this kind of like how, Lord willing, with a number, we going to be seeing it like John and it's looking down. But this is the beginning stages of that. But let's go ahead and play this video. And it's just a quick update video, 16 hours ago, on what's going on. Nothing too major, and we'll go ahead and, move on. But let's see. Good sound playing. Cool.
This is the most gruesome scene I've ever seen in my life. It's like a war zone.
All the stuff that's here is replaceable. People are not. So having the family is the most important thing.
We start tonight tracking several wildfires burning in LA County. Homes, schools, and entire communities have been destroyed.
And take a look at this map of the at least 5 fires that we are tracking in Southern California right now. The Sunset Fire sparking earlier this evening in the Hollywood Hills. The Palisades Fire is still the largest, burning north of Santa Monica and Pacific Palisades. And there's the deadly Eaton Fire in Altadena. And rounding out the list, the Hearst and Lydia fires.
Okay, take a look at the current size of the fires tonight. At last check, the Palisades Fire is close to 16,000 acres. The Eden Fire is now more than 10,000 acres. The Hearst Fire is approaching 1,000 acres. The Lydia Fire is less than 500 acres. And it's the only fire with some containment at 40% tonight. Meanwhile, the Sunset Fire in the Hollywood Hills is 50 acres. And sadly, several people have died and more than 1,000 structures have been destroyed. We do have a lot to cover tonight. I'm Chris Thomas.
I'm Laura Painter. Thank you so much for joining us. The flames are leaving a path of destruction and stretching resources thin. New tonight, we're learning all schools across the LA Unified School District will be closed tomorrow as President Biden today signs off on a federal disaster declaration. This is new aerial video of a 6th fire breaking out Wednesday night, the Sunset Fire, based in the Hollywood Hills. Mandatory evacuations were issued Wednesday night.
I live here. I've been here for 21 years, but yeah, it's time to get out, I think.
This is new video of traffic gridlock as people flee their homes for safety. Thousands of homes and businesses destroyed.
It's just jumping from home to home right now. With this wind, there's nothing to stop it.
Wind gusts reaching 100 miles per hour, making fighting the flames difficult.
The fires being fueled by a combination of strong Santa Ana winds and surrounding topography, which makes it extremely challenging for us firefighters.
LA's Mayor Karen Bass returning to California today from an overseas trip to Ghana, speaking to the public, thanking first responders and reminding residents to heed evacuations.
Hurricane force winds are usually accompanied by rainstorms, but these are hurricane force winds that are combined with extremely dry drought conditions.
Those who evacuated unsure of what they'll return home to.
This is pretty devastating. This is pretty devastating.
Right, return home to what? And then when they get there, it's like, so what we do now? It's looking at each other. What we do now? You know, and then if you call FEMA, call those lines. When you call, it's not like you're about to talk to a real person. You might, the first thing I would say, you might talk to an automated voice message and press 1. If you want to do this, press 2. And if not that, you'll probably ask somebody from like India. You can't even understand them. And they will put you on hold. Think about, look, just because some of us may go to sleep, wake up, go on our day-to-day life. Remember, people life change. And it's going to lead, again, like to build to the point, this going to lead to what? The spirit that's being pushed. And what Apostle Tahar said, what's this year? 2025, the hopeful year of destruction of Esau and our salvation. But before that happened, or what's going to kick both of those events off? Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble. And the point is, these little events is what's going to push people over the edge. People already pissed off, already struggling, hate life as it is. You know, now a fire came out of nowhere. Your car gone. A lot of people was trying to get out the city. Their car started melting. They just had to run. Think about that.
And,
so you got it, Salaga.
No, they had the fire department come through and bulldoze people cars because they just abandoned them, you know. But yeah, brother.
Nah, that's it. Other times I seen that video. I wish I would. It might be in one of these next clips up next. I don't know, but yep,
it reminded me of what was that? God damn it! Leave the World Behind. It looked just like Leave the World Behind.
Let me see if I can find it real quick, but I know exactly.
You know, Esau pulling out all the stops, man. He's pulling out all the stops. And man, shit, if you don't have Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, man, oh man. You know, and I'll just say this, man, the apostles with the zeitgeist of the world, you know, right now, Apostle Tahar shouldn't have to exhort a man to do the work. You don't see what's going on? Man, we about to go through judgment. Everybody should be terrified that believe in this truth. You know, and I'm saying, you know, a healthy fear, you know, of the awesomeness of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, you know, as the brother is going into. That could easily be us. You know, I was here in Harvey, so I could just imagine. You know, I just lost minor things, but it was rough. So I can just imagine that you know, your house is gone, up in smoke, flooded, whatever. You know, that could be any of us at any time. You know, and just cause the elect are gonna make it to see salvation, it don't mean the elect is not gonna have a rough time. And the Acts 14 and 22, it tells us that
I got you right here.
quoting that right.
I got you. I'll read it for you.
Okay, 22 and 14, Salaki. Yeah, you can bring it out.
This is Acts chapter 14 and verse 22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to. This the one?
Yep. Yeah, you good, brother. Hit it again.
This Acts 14 and 22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
Right. So confirming the souls of the disciples. All right. It starts off with that. And to confirm, it basically means with faith, with confidence, with firmness. Confirm. If you bring that up real quick, in the blue letter, confirm. I know we done been through it before, you know, but let's just be on point.
In the blue letter is Strong's G1991. It's episterizo for the word confirming. For the outline biblical usage, it says to establish besides, strengthen more, to render more firm, to confirm. And for the Strong's definition,
go ahead.
For the Strong's definition, it says to support further, reestablish, confirm, and strengthen.
Support further, reestablish, you know, to make firm. So it's talking concerning the disciples, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And that tribulation is going to plague and follow us till Yahweh Shai come back and we hear that final trump, Lord willing, get caught up in the skies in a change, in the twinkling of an eye. You know, we're going to go through it. But yeah, brother, let's see. Yeah, you got it.
No, just because you was going into tribulation, I went into that word G2347, and it's
Strong's G2347. Thlipsis,
and I thought of with the apostle Gabal, how he'll mention this every so often about Yahweh Shai in the Garden of Gethsemane, and Gethsemane meaning pressed, to be pressed, like an all press, in which that's when Yahweh Shai was pressured. That pressure was on him that night. He was pressed down in the spirit. But even going to that, showing we all gonna have that was Yahweh Shai's, spiritual hour of temptation, right? And just to show, just to show how serious it's gonna be, just consider Yahweh Shai, right? In that night. Now, this is a man who told his brothers, his disciples, many times what was gonna happen to him in detail. He told them, look, they gonna grab me, they gonna beat me, they gonna spit on me. They even go crucify me. On the third day, I'm going to raise. Y'all even meet me in Galilee. So he knew in detail. He knew he was going to rise. He knew the whole story. The point is, just to show how serious it's going to be, the Lord knew everything. He knew he was going to conquer and win at the end. But when it came down to that very moment where it was time for him to get grabbed up, it was time for the moment, right? It was time for it. Now it's time for it to happen. He was like, he even said so much, although he told his disciples many times, and he knew he was going to, again, conquer the world, right? And death. He even said, Father, ain't no other way. Not saying he won't be the sacrifice for us, but it's like, do I gotta get, beat? Like, do they gotta, But the point is, he knew all this, but when it came down to it, even our Lord, the King, Yahweh Shai, it was like, just to show how serious it's gonna be, man. And we're in that time at any moment. Again, at any moment. Remember, contractions. Going back to a woman get contractions. We'll get back to the news, but I'm hit this definition. But when a woman get contractions, it start off like in 10 minutes apart. And then, but the point is, eventually it come when she don't expect it, and they work they self closer together, they work themselves down, but it's unexpected. So, like the other times, the pastor said, something can happen tomorrow. A new thing can happen tomorrow. We're in that time to what the Apostle Tahar said. If you miss one day, you can miss a lot. We're in a time to decades can happen in weeks. But anyway, for this definition, it says pressing, press together, pressure. afflicted, tribulation, distress, or straits. But the point is, we gonna have our hour of our oil pressed, you know. And hey, that now it brings it sheds light to Matthew 25 when it says, not so, lest there be not enough for you and me. We're gonna all have just enough, Lord willing, to endure through that time, just enough to withdraw from that bank account. Every man gonna have to have that all for himself. It's gonna get pressed, but we, Lord willing, still gonna have it left over though, you know, spiritually speaking. But you had something else, other Taza Pop?
Nah, you good, brother.
Okay, Con, I'm gonna play this.
I've never felt independence like this before. That first paycheck was like, whew.
I'm gonna play this real quick just to back you up.
Yeah, I want to take you here live right now. So this is Pacific Palisades. All of these cars were ditched. So all of the drivers panicked. They took their keys. This is Palisades Drive as well as Sunset Boulevard. This dozer is just moving these vehicles out of the way. So if this is your car, unfortunately, it's an emergency situation, and this is what they have to do. They are moving the cars as we speak. Unfortunately, there are dozens of cars. This looks like a movie set. Unfortunately, this is real. LA County Fire, they have to do what they have to do. They need to clear a path. So literally, they're moving the cars, the SUVs. We're seeing Mercedes, very nice vehicles, Teslas up here, but that's because the car owners, they took their keys and they just started running. They left the cars here as the firefighters were trying to clear the pathway, clear the roadway. This is an emergency situation where, you know.
But, you know, you see what time it is. And also, I'm
Yes, and so according to that video, they were forced to evacuate their vehicles. Possibly by, I guess, energy weapons. I don't know, you know. But yeah, Esau got these quiet weapons, man. These silent weapons. I'm gonna bring this out for you. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. It says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." All right. This is what it looked like. We coming to Jacob's trouble, you know. Yeah. So it say, but Jacob shall be saved out of it.
$1,000 instantly.
Or he shall be saved. He meaning Jacob shall be saved out of it by way of a remnant, an elect. You know. So this is what we hope or hoping to be a part of, while we refer to ourselves as the hopeful elect. All right, but you got it, brother.
From the brother Manazar, he got the quote from Vladimir Lenin, the former, I believe they call him presidents in Russia, but of the USSR. He says it was a quote from him, and the apostles and the brothers in New York brought this out. It says there are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. And we're at that point. We're at that point in world history to where a lot about to happen in a short period of time. And you know how we know that's true, because according to prophecy, the scriptures say time gonna speed up. So a lot gonna have to happen in a short period of time. A time like never before. Jacob's trouble gonna have to happen in a short period of time, man. And that's where we at. Mm-hmm. But that's it. That's it on that one. You want to continue?
Yeah, come on. We can go.
I'm gonna get this. Ezekiel 7:6 and 8 AMP. Thus saith the Lord of power, a disaster is coming. One so destructive and injurious, so sudden and violent that it stands alone. A unique disaster. Look, it is coming. An end is coming. The end has come. It has awakened against you. Look, it has come. And that's where we at. We're at the end. And it's showing itself. It's proving its own self. That's why it says at the end it shows speak and not lie.
That's right. That's right.
The atmosphere in itself. And you know, I don't know if you've seen in the group chat, Elder Tazapar, but the brother Daniela, he put it in there how the Merriam-Webster, I don't know if it was yesterday or today, but the Merriam-Webster word of the day was zeitgeist.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I
Wow,
had to, because
that's crazy.
he put it in there. He had tagged me, and then that's when I seen it. I said Khan, and I had tagged you in it. You know, it's on yeah.
Oh,
You know,
I didn't know. Yeah. I mean, I missed it. I saw that, but I didn't know what it was referencing.
matter of fact, check it out. Hold on, I showed the chat.
That's wild.
Now, okay, I see a screenshot said it was from a week ago, but still, the point remains: we in the time. And what zeitgeist mean? The spirit of the times, and the spirit of the times is what? Prophecy being fulfilled, judgment, evil's happening in the earth, man, so on and so forth.
Yep.
What I'm doing? All right, let me see. So right here, let's see if I can show it. Word of the day, zeitgeist. A week ago, Merriam-Webster.
And that was the shit. That was the first then. So that started the year off.
Oh, that's cold. Matter of fact, let's get it. Let's get that definition for some. Zeitgeist and etymologyonline.com from 1848.
German.
Mm-hmm. Kind of says 1848 from German Zeitgeist, and it means the spirit of the age, literally time spirit, right? It says time spirit, and then you go into it, and they give the other things. Let's see. A quick Google definition. It says the defining spirit or mood of a particular period of history as shown by the ideas and beliefs of the time. And what's everybody turning to? The Bible. Everybody talking about the prophets because that's the time we're in. The Bible being fulfilled. The word speaking and not lying. So, but you had anything else out of Taza Paul?
No, you good. We can move on.
Okay, I'll play a little quick clip from Dabu 7 because it's been said, chariots was within the fire. So I'll play this real quick. And then we'll show some,
Dabu 7.
Some little clips
You were looking
just from the fire.
At an aerial view above the Palisades fire in California. This thing is absolutely out of control. The cause unknown, 0% contained. This is a mystery object that comes into the frame here. This was caught live where this object that looks like a UFO or a missile comes flying into the frame. You can see it changes the trajectory. What is that? What is going on here? With all the orbs, drones, and the stuff in the sky, the UAPs, UFOs, whatever you want to call them, this is very interesting because this thing's flying around through the smoke just like a UFO would. Now, this is what it looks like around Los Angeles. Apocalyptic.
Never, ever seen anything like this. I've been living here for 6 years. There's so much smoke that it is blocking the sun. You can actually see it.
Oh, that's spiritual. That's super spiritual. See, the Lord having little things of prophecy being spoken or done in the earth. So much smoke is blocking the sun. That's what it says gonna happen on the day of the Lord. The Lord just doing it bit by bit. You got something? That's pretty much it on that. I'll listen to description box too for anybody want to check out the links. But you have some other Taza Pa?
Let me see.
If not, we could just
you good. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll just show these quick examples of what's going on, what's being said right now. So and we still hitting on that fire point. This is a form of the Lord's judgment, sending fire in the earth. And we're gonna hit on the snow real quick. But these are forms of judgment.
I think the craziest and the saddest part about the fires in Los Angeles is the timing of everything. A lot of people are saying they lost their insurance not too long before the fires. Just take a look at what James Woods says. He says in his neighborhood, about 4 months before the fire, one major insurance company canceled all the policies in his neighborhood. Just take a look at this picture of Pacific Palisades. Average cost of a home there is $3.4 million. Now, how about the timing of the cut of the fire department's budget? They cut more than $17.5 million about 7 months before these fires started from the fire department. And they were saying that they were severely understaffed and they didn't have enough resources to fight these fires. And then the $1 million question comes around. How the heck did these fires even start? And there are hundreds of conspiracies circulating around social media. But I have a question, and a lot of people have this question too, because I saw a lot of videos saying the same thing. It got so hot that the people who abandoned their cars, it started melting. Like the metal started melting down the street, but the trees around these cars looked fine. How is that even possible? I think.
Let's move on. Just quick little clips, quick little scenes.
Flames are coming back over PCH or being blown by fierce winds. It is like driving through hell itself down here. Literally through hell. This is madness down here. These homes are on fire and you can feel the heat from the flames even from inside your car. All of PCH is on fire right now.
Move on. Oh, hey, what the Lord said? He gonna judge man, woman, old and young. You got the dozens of elderly. Now, again, I'm gonna say this too. First, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, you know, we pray for those brothers who may be close to those areas, you know, but we know through faith the Lord got those brothers, man. You know, that's a comfort of being in His truth, you know. But the point is, the Lord, we're in a time, we ain't about to see nobody be spared. No child, no elderly, the Lord, no woman, no man. I don't care if you don't know if you're a woman or a man, everybody about to get the judgment of the Lord, man. That's why it's you know, a blessing being able to do this work for the hopes of being spared from the judgment that's coming. Like I said in 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, I believe, about not being condemned with the world. We're at that point. These things are happening for the wicked. But it says dozens of elderly residents flee SoCal, South California, assisted living center as fires raged.
Terraces and the Pasadena Wellness Center, those areas, there were 96 people that had to be evacuated. People in gurneys, people in wheelchairs, people in rolling beds being rushed out of that assisted living home, out of that nursing home. 96 of them transported and evacuated to Los Feliz. We talked to a woman who rushed over here from Arcadia to help her mom. She had had power going in and out all day, so it was really hard for her to understand the situation and what was going on. But if you take another live look back out here, you can see the flames have just gotten bigger and bigger. That black smoke right in front of us here at the Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center.
That spirit, that's a spirit the Lord burnt down a little small hat center. But this says drone footage. Salaki.
No, I was just saying Khan.
In all these clips, you know, the articles again in the description box. It says drone footage shows the devastating aftermath of the LA fires. And I mind you, this is just part of a city. These fires still active right now. Just go to YouTube and type in LA fires. It got live footage. Places still on fire right now. This is a spot that happened to dwindle. The Lord let it, you know, cool down a bit, but it's the aftermath. Because as we're going to get these next few things, just because this place is done, it ain't over yet. These fires about to hit their electrical lines. But, you know, let me show it real quick. Completely took out everything. So what people coming home to? What they coming home to? Where they going to start it again? What you going to get another job? Well, your job burnt. Think about this. People's life is changing. Like the Lord is beginning people Jacob's trouble as we speak in a sense, you know, because we ain't definitely in the beginning of Jacob's trouble, but the Lord is starting early for a couple people, a lot of people. You know what? Even in Egypt, certain plagues hit certain people at a certain time. Everybody wasn't, let's see. Everybody wasn't in a palace to witness the snakes. You know, the staff turned to a snake, and Moses snake eating the other two Egyptian snakes. Everybody wasn't in the presence of Pharaoh and his royalty in the palace with Moses and Aaron them. But eventually, as more plagues came, they started touching everybody. Everybody started getting touched. So it started earlier. Certain things started earlier for certain people. Wintertime, certain people, life changed. Now they got to just really get it how they live. And it ain't done, though. The Lord ain't done. But let's move on. You got some other, you know, I'm just let me know if you got something. But so this before and after in Malibu. A little quick before and after. Let me see if I could switch it over. Look at that. Come on, man. And you know what, too? A lot of these things, and Esau myself, it is Esau doing it. But you know what? What's been being hit? These oceanside cities, beachside cities, Tampa, you know, even up there in the mountains where you had a lot of that, what it was, you rent? What they had up there? What type of element? That BlackRock was trying to go get up there in North Carolina.
Oh, I'm sorry, what's that shit?
If a brother know what we're talking about, lithium. That's it.
Lithium.
Wow. Lithium.
And they got a special lithium up there. I want to say white lithium it's a rare form of lithium. So you know, Esau, his eyes standing out with fatness right now, and just peeping everything, man. It literally is a fire sale. You got California on fire, but it's a fire sale, man. The elites cashing out, running for the hills. That's why the insurance companies ain't paying out. They didn't pay out in North Carolina and those surrounding states. They ain't paying out. It's this ain't the U.S. You know that people have been accustomed to. You know, I don't even really know how to call it, but this is something different. We're not in the same shit, but people trying to do the same shit. You know, women still talking about, I like to travel, I like to do this and that, and people don't understand. They have declared, your government has declared war on you. And they just haven't told you. But they have deployed silent weapons for quiet wars. That's what, you know, if that video was true, but we say, you know, allegedly. But I mean, it's the same reports that we got from out of Lahaina in Hawaii. Metal melting, organic life being untouched, trees, shrubs, whatnot. The same MO that we heard from Hawaii. You know, that's a solid weapon for quiet war. And then they say, oh, it's just a wildfire. No, man. They are at war with the U.S. Mark Maid. And this is Matthew. This is Luke. Luke chapter 12, verse 49. And it says, this is Yahushua speaking. I am come to send fire on the earth. And what will I if it be already kindled? And that fire is the whole earth. All right, it's talking about these uproars, uprisings, this chaos. The Lord is setting this off, and that's including literal fires. And when you go in the fire, it's the literal word, Greek word for fire. And we say pyre, like when you say pyroglyphics, or we use the word pyre for fire. Now they pronounce it in the Greek pur, but it's fire. Yahushua said he's coming to bring the fire. All right, now he gonna literally get down with them lasers ultimately, but all of this coming, or really what we are in is, this is coming from the Heavenly Father through His only begotten Yahushua. That was it on that, brother.
And then speaking on Lahaina, I just typed in Lahaina fire, so it got an article that just dropped yesterday, January 8th, 2025. Just to show people still trying to rebuild. When this was? When was
that? Was shit about 2 years ago.
August 8th and 9th, 2023. 2 years ago. And this article just came out. It said, and I put this in the chat too, so y'all can check it out. We ain't gonna read it. It just says, where are they now? Updates on people in Maui's deadliest storm. But you read into it, they trying to, they don't know. They're trying to rebuild. They don't know. They don't want to leave. So they still up in there 2 years later. Now, these Americans live a little different than the people over there in Hawaii. And I'm talking about not for the good. They ain't going to just accept that as well. That's what's going to lead into people getting tired of suffering. They won't have enough of, Lord willing, Jacob's trouble kick off. But let's, wind it down with this fire. Even so much so they had, they letting people out of jail to come help with the fires in California.
Right, but they didn't cut the goddamn budget for the fire department. So, and that's going back into what I was saying. I'm glad you brought that back up. All right, we're not gonna pay to you or give you firefighters what y'all need or pay y'all. Again, grievousness which they have prescribed, Isaiah the 10th chapter. And then they just go get the free labor out the penitentiaries or bring them from across the border. This is the future of America. Yeah, ain't no more. There'll be no more getting a paycheck and going cash a check. There'll be no more direct deposit. None of that shit. This is going to a slave type of economy existence, a straight slave existence, cyber slavery, if you will. What else you got, brother?
Nah, I'm laughing. This woman says she's not homeless. I was just thinking of that, that little song, but the day after day, But other than that, I just scroll through these. You also got people just setting random fires up in California. You got, they ain't nothing Jake trying to save his cars. Also, you had explosions in Fort Worth. Now, it wasn't nothing major, but I was thinking of that scripture. If a brother want to put in the chat in 2nd Esdras, how it says, it shall be fires often sent out, But this, not just that. So what came out today on Natural News, January 9th, 2025, it says Palisades fire becomes LA's most destructive wildfire amid water shortages and power outages. So it ain't just that people suffering. Even if they have a cell phone, the power, it might not even work. I just read the bullet points. It says we ain't got to read that. Nearly 300,000 customers are without power, and mandatory evacuations have caused gridlock in Santa Monica, Malibu, and Hollywood Hills. You see? But Other than that, that's it on the fire. Another thing that's going on right now, January 6th, this was put out, this article. It says from AccuWeather, Southern U.S. braces for major winter storm. Dallas to Atlanta on alert. Now, this is where it's supposed to hit. And it's already been cold. You know, here in Houston, it's snowing already. In Dallas, you know, it says it's supposed to be 3 inches of snow in Atlanta soon. I'll play just a little bit of this vid.
A whole lot of snow is being dumped on our nation's capital and across the Midwest. More than 55 million Americans are on alert because of this deadly winter storm. This hour, states of emergency have been declared across 6 states. This morning, at least 3 deaths are being blamed on the brutal travel conditions on the roads. Thousands of flights have been delayed or canceled, many of those in D.C., where heavy snow is falling at this hour, and it could reach historic totals soon. Much of the city,
historic totals, biblical proportions,
shut down, but a very active scene is happening outside Capitol Hill as lawmakers are expected to soon certify the 2024 election despite this snow emergency. Meteorologist Derek Van Dam standing by for us. But first, let's get to where the snow is. Gabe Cohen in Washington, D.C. We can see that conditions are still just as rough as they were earlier. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, Sarah, plenty of snow still falling this morning, and you can see it's really been accumulating throughout the morning. There are several inches already on the ground, and we're expecting that only to increase throughout the day. That's why, as you said, there are those states of emergency in place across those 6 states, including here in Washington. Really, this area feels frozen right now in more ways than one. We know that schools across this region are shut down. Federal government.
All right. But you got from the BBC News from 3 days ago. Now, it's 3 days ago. It could get worse because in some places it ain't start really yet. But it says 5 dead so far as huge winter storm grips swath of the United States. And, you know, it goes into where it says 7 U.S. states declared emergencies: Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, Kansas, Missouri, Kentucky, and Arkansas. And it's even hitting, again, Dallas. Dallas, snow often. But Atlanta's supposed to have 3 inches or more of snow, 1 to 3 inches, I believe it said. And, here in Houston it's cold as well. But we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what's going to happen. I think in New Orleans as well, after they just had a truck run through Bourbon Street, it's supposed to be cold as well, if I'm not mistaken. But other than that, matter of fact, I had one precept. Did you have anything? I get one.
No, you got it.
Let's get this. It's Psalms 148. I'm gonna get it in the NLT. Now, what it's going into is saying how all the Lord creation should praise him and how all his creation follow his orders. But the things we seeing, even if it's Esau doing it by his technology, who's ultimately allowing these fires and the snow and the floods to happen? The Heavenly Father. This is his elements. Again, who can the disciples seen it? Yahweh Shai control those elements, man. But I want to read this real quick. And I get Isaiah 29:6 as well. But it says, if a brother won't put that in the chat, but this is Psalms 148 and verse 7. It says, praise the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai from the earth. And this is Psalms 148 and 7 in the NLT. It says, praise the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai from the earth, you creatures of the ocean depths. Verse 8, fire and hell, snow and clouds, wind and weather that obey him. One more time. Fire, we seeing that. Hell, that was one of the plagues in Egypt. Snow and fire, we seeing that in America right now. Snow and fire. And then it says snow and clouds, wind, 100 miles an hour wind that's even pushing the flames. The Lord controlling that, man. And weather that obey him. And for the sake of Hollywood Hills being on fire, verse 9, mountains and all hills, fruit trees and all cedars, but these things obey the Lord. Let me see what brother put that Isaiah 29. I'll get it real quick. It's Isaiah 29 and verse 6. It says, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and with great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire, which shows the Heavenly Father he don't have to just you know, have somebody just put the devil. No, he could use his creation, the elements, for judgment, and that's what we're seeing. Other than that, that's pretty much it on that, Elder Tazapah. You had anything before we hit the next one?
Yahweh have posted 2nd Ezra 8. Was it 25? Bring that one out. That one fire.
2nd Ezra 8 and 25.
2nd Ezra 8 and something. Let me see. Let me go back.
I see it. 2nd Ezra 8 and 50. That's the one you're talking about?
50. Yeah. That's it. 8 and 50.
Kind. The brother Yahweh, the 2nd Ezra 8 and 50, it says, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the earth, because they have walked in great pride."
And that sums it up excellently.
Mm-hmm.
Many great miseries are coming, all right, to them that dwell on the earth. Every show, brother, every week, Revelation 12 and 12, does not it say, "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth"?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because of those great miseries that are coming. And the people of that, that's Bougie, all right, Santa Monica, the Palisades. What was that other one? Malibu. That's the rich white folks. And a lot of them, that's around Anaheim and shit. You got a lot of Germans, Edomites over there. But that's them ritzy Edomites. So from the greatest to the least, them that dwell on the earth will suffer miseries, just as you said. And it don't matter if you elderly or infant. Matter of fact, the COVID was more harsh to the infants and the elderly, than it was to healthy adults.
Mm-hmm.
So, we are in these times, man, and because of man's pride, what is earth and ashes, man, that they should be proud? People out here, you proud, but you got to take a shit every day. Shit, you got to eat. But yeah, and that's a big problem, brother. The egomania in Babylon is ridiculous, and you see it all the time in Houston, in Texas. Big Shirley. She thinks she the bee's knees. She think, she God gift to men, in her pride, that ego, that pride. And this, I'm using Big Shirley as the example, but that's all races, gender. Nobody's stopping to say, I need Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shah. Or just, I need God. I'm a piece of shit, man. I need guidance. I need God. No, motherfuckers that go to church, they looking for shit. They trying to get abundance. They treat their God, and that's the spirit of Babylon, but they treat the Most High as if he's some type of genie, and you just call on him to give you the shit you want. And I mean shit. Because, they don't never ask for, Lord, I need patience. Well, I don't say they don't, but predominantly predominantly and more so, they asking for material shit or looking for material gain. This is why they go to church. This is why some of the worst people in society are Christians. Because their religion does nothing to build character, to build, just a morally sound human being. Men and women of righteousness. No, even these religions produces egomaniacs. And got people living in pride. The pastor sit up there and do a sermon about how big his house is or how he need a jet. And what the people supposed to get out of that? And so, as Hosea 4:6 states, the Most High's people, the children of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans predominantly, are destroyed for a lack and a great want and need of knowledge. All right, you are destroyed. Going back to root destruct, meaning to undo. When you construct, you put something together. When you destruct, you undo. All right. The leaving of the law, statutes, and commandments was the undoing of the nation of Israel. And the bringing back of the gospel, which a part of the gospel and part of the doctrine is the keeping of the law, statutes, and commandments. That's a major part of it. Although we understand keeping the law is not, necessary for salvation. Faith is that key element, that crucial element that's necessary for salvation. It's not the law, but we don't void the law. As Paul stated, Romans 3:31, yea, we establish the law. And so that's what we do at Great Millstone. We establish the law. That's a great part of this because that's a part of Amos 9 and 11 on down. The Most High, how's it worded? Rebuilding the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
God.
It said rebuild. I'm trying to get that worded.
I got you.
But that's a construction, and the Lord is the law is the glue or the salve, not the salve. What is that? The tempered mortar. The law is the tempered mortar for our construction. Okay, it did say. Let me see here. Okay, build it as in the days of old. So this is Amos chapter 9, verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. All right. And then we was the one that fell away. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. All right. The children of Israel. That's the tabernacle. When King David was ruling, all Israel was the tabernacle of David. And so that's what the Lord is bringing back. All Israel is being brought back, reconstructed as a nation, all right, to be Zion. Give the Most High his glory. Give him his due in the earth. Set forth judgment and righteousness in the earth. Just as Esau, he represent his daddy. He represent his God. Shit, he He repping to the fullest for Satan. Why Jake ain't representing to the fullest for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai? You got some men out here who are, but as a whole, man, and we know it's just going to be 1/3, and not even all the 1/3 are going to be prophesying, but it's an elect that's going to prophesy, get the Most High His glory, you know. But yeah, you brought that out, and I'm gonna read this, and then you got it, brother. And this is Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You see? What did it say? Will be the stability of our time? Wisdom and knowledge. So if we were destroyed for a lack of knowledge, the Lord returning that to us through his law, statutes, commandments, and, you know, the gospel, because even all of the book is the gospel or the law. From Genesis to Revelation, this is the book of the law. Okay, so now we being brought back together. We are not the destroyed, the destructed ones. We are, you know, being edified. We are the edified ones. So again, Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. See, that's the key to it all. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. So, yeah, brother, you got to give it back to you, brother.
Kind of Salaki, I was laughing because I'm trying to, you know, I was reading through this article, because we ain't going to it yet, just to kind of get an idea what it's going into. But literally, this paragraph right here, I know they had to pull it off that Klaus Schwab website. How he said it ain't all about the technology advancing, but we're gonna have to change and re-engineer social life and economic principles. You know, kind of how we spoke. But this paragraph kind of say really is the lesson we did like last week. You know,
right? Exactly. Yep.
Man, that's crazy.
So
but so look, so like a quick recap. Think about all what the American citizens who used to living good, what they've been through. Hold on, let me get 2 quick precepts. 2 Esdras 5 and 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and fire shall be often sent out again. We seeing that, and wild beasts shall change their places. Right? They got zebras and Katie as an inside joke. They got zebras and Katie. It says, and mistress women shall bring forth monsters. Brother Kabi, it says, richest prophet, so like in Proverbs 11 and 4, richest prophet not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivered from death. Right? So all those rich people, they money ain't gonna save them. I had one more, Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 11 in the GNT. Just to show it ain't just gonna be the everyday person suffering the most, it's gonna be everybody. Just like in Egypt. Wisdom of Solomon 11 in the GNT. 18 and 11. It says, masters suffered the same punishment as their slaves. The king.
Yep. Yep. Go ahead, brother. Yep.
It says masters suffered the same punishment as their slaves. The king endured the same loss as the common person. And that's what we're seeing. The CEOs, all those rich people, CEOs, tech, you know, billionaires, people who work from home, they getting judged not too. Everybody about to get touched by the Lord, especially, you know how I said during the famine in Samaria in 2 Kings, the 6th chapter, how the woman was crying because she ate her child and shared her child with a complete stranger. She said, help me, king. Now, mind you, she talking to the king. This man, he the man. He said, woman, if the Lord don't help you, how you expect me to help you? The point is, she was talking to the king. He ain't had no help. He ain't had nothing. So that's the time when, if the Lord not with a person, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, if the Yahweh Bashim Yahushai not with an individual, it's over, man. That's the serious. That's why it's so serious of doing this work. That's what we fight for, to be exempt. It's like you got it, Taza Park.
No, like you went into Tuesday, that people gonna go to the government. You know, now Esau, he got it because he's in the fullness of his sufficiency. So he got it, but he gonna give it to you in the form of an MOTB to fulfill prophecy. But yeah, it's gonna happen again, but this time the king gonna have it. And he gonna give it to you. Because you didn't trust in the Lord. King Asa. Most High jacked him up because he didn't call on the Most High. With the it was some type of gout, maybe. He was diseased in the foot. That's all it said. And he was using the herbs, I guess, the ointments. And he didn't call on the Most High. The Most High ended up taking him out. King Asa, the father of Jehoshaphat. But yeah, and this is where we are. All right, this judgment is coming down because people have not been calling on Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Now, granted, the name just returned, all right, but it's out there now. So you don't have no excuse. You Hebrew Israelites as a whole still are not calling on Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. So yeah, this is what it's come to. You got it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in lieu of everything that's happening, again, people is gonna hit a boiling point, and that's the spirit of the times. Jacob's trouble, Lord willing, in 2025. So this is an article, and we could begin to wind it down. From naturalnews.com, it dropped today, fresh, hot off the presses. Going into the zeitgeist. This the spirit. It says a futurist, John Peterson, cyclical. Now that word cyclical means
cyclical,
occurring in cycles, recurrent.
Yeah, with cycles.
It says
when you read like the first about the first 3 or 4 chapters of Ecclesiastes he's dealing with cycles. It's cyclical. But yeah, brother, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. It says futurist John Peterson, cyclical economic analysis model predicts a potential global civil war starting this year. This article dropped today. Now, we're going to read it, but I'm going to get what predicted it, right? Because we know we're in the age of AI and artificial intelligence, chat GPT, giving a perspective. And it's somewhat, some things line up, certain images, it's kind of, it give a good, a glimpse of what it may be. But we know it ain't spot on, right? So what this model did, and I'm going to read a bit of it. It says Martin Armstrong, using his Socrates model. Now, I know Apostle Tahal, he did a lesson on this some years ago going into the Socrates, because you have this model, this like AI thing, and I'm going to read what it is. So we know who's given this prediction of a global civil war, which if it's so, it's lining up with prophecy and the times of prophecy. So it sound right, and it look right, and it feel right. It says, so this Armstrong Economics, it says, introducing Socrates. Now, this is what it is. This was what gave the prediction. It says, ask Socrates, right? It's just like a chat GPT or something. It says Ask Socrates is an innovative software as a service platform offering unique perspective and tools intended to help individuals and organizations better research and interpret the global economic and political environment, utilizing proprietary models, artificial intelligence, and extensive database. This platform is capable of observing every market around the world to track changes in international capital flows and concentration with indicators and analysis not found elsewhere. Now it goes on how, as you know, it launched in 2016, but it gives an outlook on what, following the process of the economy, what's the effects of it, in other words, or for lack of better words. So let's read what it said. It says Martin Armstrong, using his Socrates model, which he started doing in 2016, it says this is what it predicted for 2025, predicts a potential global civil war starting as early as 2025, driven, man, this is hey, hold on, man, hey, I think I think Socrates be listening. Then he used the word driven. Come on, man. I'm a hold this precept on deck, but I think Socrates be tuning in. It says predicts a potential global civil war starting as early as 2025. Now check this out. Remember these words right here for this precept. Driven by, so the civil war gonna happen because of what? By widespread dissatisfaction with government institutions. Remember that key word is driven by too, right? So a civil war gonna happen because people tired. It says the public's trust in government institutions is eroding due to perceived betrayal, right? Esau exposed it. Now people realize you ain't a lamb, you a dragon. You ain't for our benefit, you making it worse. You ain't here to help us, you here to help Ukraine. It says misuse of resources, or like they getting on the so-called black woman in California, her and what's the Edomite? Gavin Newsom. People getting tired of these elites. And that also rolls into Job, the 20th chapter. That's why people are going to revolt, because they're going to get tired of these higher ups running their life. You know? Telling people what they could do, what they can't do, destroying their life. And now we see what these events going to lead to: fire, people homes burning, people becoming homeless, and all this stuff, right? That's going to lead to people eventually having enough with society, man. I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 weeks some more billions get sent to Ukraine. It says misuse of resources.
They got shit. Go ahead, brother. They working on sending 500 billion worth of weapons to Ukraine. So yeah, just to throw that out there since you mentioned it, that's in the works.
Let's read a little, because this article fire got a lot. We might not read it all, but it's in the description box. It says the public's trust. This is why the people gonna revolt. It says the public's trust in government institutions is eroding due to perceived betrayal, misuse of resources, and poor handling of crisis like the CV19 demic, leading to planet-wide uprising. Transition Net, a global collaboration platform, aims to harness collective intelligence of millions to build a new model of governance. Now, check this out. Now, we ain't gonna hit on this, but this other thing that just dropped, in the Elder Tales of Power and myself, we, kind of want to look into it a little more before we speak on it. But it just highlights this little program that just dropped. Now, it's some type of device that you speak to it, and with the AI, what you say, what you think, it actually brings it to life. And as you see right here, it says NVIDIA unveils Project Digits, a personal AI supercomputer for the masses. They want to link everybody with the system, the Internet of Things. Now, Lord willing, we kind of, study it a little more. And I believe this in the chat as well. But going back to this, on why I even mentioned that, what the people uprising, because in this article, what the people uprising, a civil war, with that coming, society collapsing, is going to lead to a digital society coming in. a digital society coming in.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we at right now. It says the Transition Net, a global cooperation platform, aims to harness the collective intelligence of millions to build a new model of governance, see, a new world governance, emphasizing the dual role of technology in dissemination of information and potential tightening of control. It says the interview highlights the need for building alternative systems, leveraging emerging technologies to improve individuals and communities, advocating for, check this out, for re-engineering of social and economic principles, like the Spirit had us talk about last week. Yeah, they got advanced technology, and they bringing and again, remember, keep our eyes open for January 20th through the 24th. You have the Davos meeting, World Economic Forum Davos meeting in Davos, Switzerland. And what's the theme of that year? For a global cooperation to go digital. And what Klaus Schwab said, we talked about it last week. What Klaus Schwab said, yeah, we know we about to make new technological advances in 2025, but in order for this to happen, it ain't about how advanced our technology is. In order for this advanced technology to prosper, it's imperative, that's the word he used, which means crucial. He said it's imperative that we not only come with the technology, but we have to change social life in order for this to work. We have to change the environment in order for this to work, which is the whole system around us, stores, businesses, healthcare, they going digital. So now the people who got to go to these stores and businesses, you have to go digital. Social life, which is social credit scores. Now you're going to be tracked and tracing and judged off how you abide in this new way of doing things. And it also says geopolitical, which what that is, the government's going to a digital dollar. That's the only way for this to really work. That's where we at right now. In 2025 is the year. We're going to keep our eyes posted, Lord willing, what they're going to talk about for these meetings. Everything is happening, man. Life is about to change. Destruction coming. Well, not coming. It's happening. People dying. People losing things. And at the same time as they taking out this old world, they bringing in a digital system. And that's what we need to understand. And I know, brothers, start with the apostles teach it. And that's what we understand. We don't need to be told the times and the seasons. And Salaki, I'm a little excited because it's happening. We don't need to be told the times and the seasons. We see it. So as we see more things being destroyed, know this, that behind the scenes, they passing laws and doing things to bring in this digital system. Just like this, NVIDIA, whatever this is, we're going to look into it. But this drop, and it says personal AI supercomputer for the masses. Also this mind reading chip, and we can end it, we can wind it down this in the chat. Mind reading chip that can be fitted within minutes could transform lives of millions. I'm gonna read it one more time. This from End Time Headlines put out today. So like I'm a little excited. It says mind reading chip that can be fitted within minutes could transform lives of millions. These things are happening, man. We ain't waiting on it no more. But check this out. It's small, it's a small point, but it's a heavy point. It says the installation, talking about these chips being put in people's head, and I thought this was heavy. These chips being put into people's head, right? Guess who funding it? Guess who invested in it? The installation, and these same people who invested in it, guess who they just invested in? Donald Trump and his campaign and Elon Musk. Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, damn, I typed that like, damn, I ain't hit the space button. Let me see. Jeff, my space button a little bit. But Jeff Bezos.
I just make a quick correction. Yeah, the story was in AP, or Associated Press, dated January the 8th, 2025, yesterday, and it's titled U.S. will announce 500 million. All right, I said billion. It's 500 million in weapons to be sent to Ukraine. And basically the idea with that is so Ukraine, they're looking to give Ukraine a stronger negotiating position somehow with those weapons when Trump get in office. So they doing everything they can to safeguard their little debacle in Ukraine to try to Trump-proof it so they can keep that going on. But yeah, you got it out. Oh, go ahead. I'll wait till you finish.
Con. But just highlighting this on the C-HIP thing, and now this in the description box, right? So it's saying the installation of the device, the C-HIP, is a swift procedure taking about 20 minutes. Now check this out, and has attracted investment from high-profile figures such as Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates. Matter of fact, we might as well read this for the sake of the zeitgeist. It says in the Strand Road, that's what it's called, the Strand Road, strands. Now, you're gonna have different variations of chips and devices that's gonna go in hands and heads, right? Neuralink. But the point is, eventually, it's all boils down to one device, a RFID micro C-HIP. But it says the Strand Road strands, among other ambitious brain-computer interface projects like Elon Musk Neuralink, which shares the goal of aiding individuals incapacitated in their limbs due to injury or illness. That's those false signs and miracles. The point is, what was this device? Who did they get investments from? Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates. Now, and Elon Musk also have a company. Now, recently, as we know, Elon Musk, he got together with Trump. Trump just got in office. Who just donated to Trump? Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Sam Altman, which Sam Altman is the creator of OpenAI, another like a chat GPT. These billionaires, why? Because everything going digital. They with it. Trump with it. Elder Yashawama been touching on his lessons. They all with it. That's what we going. The system going digital. It's not because they say so, because they invest in. No, first the Bible say so, and everybody got to do it. All nations got to do it because the Bible says so. We just seeing how America is starting their digital system. That's it. That's it.
And on that note, this is an article from the Forbes back in 2020. It's concerning the CBDC. It says central bank digital currencies, a crisis recovery tool for governments. So just keep that in mind. That's the headline. I just want to read the headline, but that's from Forbes. And that's really what it is. They plan to, I mean, you just spoke on it. They gonna bring in this new system. If it's just for 1 minute, they gonna bring it in. All right. And for that to be done, the existing system must be destroyed. And so that's the crisis. The classic Hegelian dialectic in CBDC. The problem is rampant inflation. The people's reaction, something must be done. Among other issues and problems. And then the solution is this crisis recovery tool, the CBDC, in the form of ultimately the MOTB of Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 through 18. And that was it on that. Just going into that, this system is coming. It exists, But when I say it's coming, I mean in the form of that's it. Ain't no option. Ain't no debit. You know, you go now, they say debit or credit.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can still pull out $1 and hit them with the cash. Yeah, when this comes, you know that them options are gone. Your option is Revelation 3 and 10. That's when you're going to hit the hour of temptation. You're going to have to decline and put faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Or you can be assimilated into this technological terror, this technological nightmare, and be destroyed. But yeah, that's it, brother. It's over an hour and a half.
Yeah, we go.
So, you know, you don't want to put too much on Jay at a time. Give them, you know, just enough to digest. Yeah, you gave a full meal. We gave him a full meal. But yeah, brother, you close it out.
That's it. Hey, so hey, Lord willing, you know, this lesson was edifying. And again, you know, as all of us, myself first and foremost, stay dialed in because a lot is happening and a lot about to happen. But again, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Mill, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you walking, who pushing his word with truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And keep fighting, keep pushing, and we're almost out of here. And again, I'm going to put this article in the chat. Y'all check this out. This article is the spirit of the times, man. Check that article out. They saying when this economy collapse, a new system, digital system coming in, but it's going to collapse because what? It's going to be driven by hard times, as 2 Esdras 15 say. But hey, keep fighting, keep pushing. We almost out of here, man. Be excited about the downfall. Hey, but with that, shalom.
All right. Shalom.